Good day, everyone. Today we will explore some of the most significant intellectual revolutions that changed the way people understand the world. These revolutions shifted scientific thinking, influenced societal values, and redefined human beliefs. So, of course, understanding them will help us appreciate how knowledge progresses and how it affects various aspects of life, including industries like yours, tourism. Imagine if you were told that the Earth is the center of the universe, or that all species were created exactly as they are today. How would you react if one day scientists presented evidence proving otherwise? What if it's not the case? What if the Earth is not the center of the universe? What if you are not created as the way you are right now? These are the kinds of paradigm shifts brought about by intellectual revolutions. Let's look at three major ones: the Copernican Revolution, Darwinian Revolution, and the Freudian Revolution. The Copernican Revolution refers to the shift from the geocentric or the Earth centered model of the universe to the heliocentric or the sun centered model proposed by Nicholas Copernicus in the 16th century. Before this, people believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and view is supported by the Catholic Church and ancient scholars like Ptolemy. Who was Copernicus? Copernicus was a Polish astronomer who proposed the heliocentric model, stating that the Earth revolves around the Sun in contrast to what was believed by the majority before, that the Earth was the center of the universe. He studied law and medicine, but was deeply interested in astronomy. The heliocentric, the heliocentric theory challenged the long-standing geocentric model, and it suggested that the sun is near the center of the universe and that the earth rotates daily on its axis and revolves around the sun annually or yearly. The apparent motion of the stars and planets is due to the earth's movements. So that was what the heliocentric theory suggests, and the heliocentric theory was proposed by Nicolaus Copernicus. His key works on the revolutions, or De Revolutionibus Orbium Celestium, which was published 1543, shortly before his death. In this book, he provided mathematical and astronomical evidence for the heliocentric model, and it was initially so controversial as it contradicted religious beliefs at the time. What was his impact and legacy? Nicholas Copernicus sparked the scientific revolution, influencing later scientists like Galileo Galilei, Johann Kepler, and Isaac Newton. His model led to a more accurate understanding of the universe and honored today with craters, asteroids, and universities named after Nicholas Copernicus. The heliocentric model allowed for advancements in space travel. Without it, we wouldn't have modern GPS technology, satellite communications, or even the ability to explore other planets. Next, let's proceed with Darwinian Revolution. The Darwinian Revolution emerged in the 19th century when Charles Darwin proposed the theory of evolution through natural selection. He argued that species evolved over time due to environmental pressures, contradicting the belief that all species were created in their current forms. So, for example, here, this is the most famous depiction or illustration of uh, evolution through natural selection that shows humans were not created as is in our current forms. We evolved. Charles Darwin revolutionized our understanding of life by proposing the theory of evolution through natural selection. His work reshaped biology and challenged long held religious beliefs. He was born in 1809 in Shrewsbury, England. Darwin was fascinated by nature from a young age. He studied medicine at Edinburgh, but he abandoned it after witnessing surgery without anesthesia. He studied theology then at Cambridge, but he pursued his passion for natural science. Darwin traveled the world collecting specimens and observing diverse species on his voyage with the HMS Beagle. This is what his ship. This is the ship that he has traveled to around the world. His study of finches, these birds, in the Galapagos Islands helped him develop his theory that different species evolved to adapt to their environments. The birds that Darwin collected in the Galapagos inspired him and later scientists to develop the evolutionary principle of natural selection. The idea that animals evolve particular traits to suit their lifestyles. So, as you can see in the illustration, the beak shape and the hardness of the beak is different from each of the finches that reside or naninirahan in different parts of the Galapagos Island, depending on what type of habitat they are in. So this illustration is courtesy of from the National Geographic. Understanding evolution helps us track virus mutations, also develop better vaccines, and improve farming techniques. So the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted how evolution impacts public health. If you can remember, there have been different variants of the virus. Lastly, the Freudian Revolution. The Freudian Revolution, led by Sigmund Freud in the late 19th and 20th centuries, changed the way people understood the human mind, and Freud introduced the idea that unconscious thoughts and childhood experiences shape behavior. Sigmund Freud, he was an Austrian neurologist who founded psychoanalysis, profoundly influencing psychology and our understanding of human behavior. He was born in Moravia, now the Czech Republic, and he studied medicine at the University of Vienna, focusing on physiology and neurology. These were his contributions to science. First is the psychoanalysis. He developed a therapeutic approach uh, emphasizing the exploration of the unconscious mind through techniques like free association and dream analysis. Next, the theory of the unconscious mind. It proposes that much of human behavior is influenced by unconscious drives and desires. Third is the psychosexual development. He introduced stages of child development: the oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital periods or genital stages, suggesting early experiences shape personality. And lastly, the structural model of the psyche conceptualized the mind as of comprising of the id or the instinctual desire, the ego, and the superego. The ego is the rational thought and the superego is the moral standard. Today, companies use psychological principles to influence consumer behavior. So for example, mga luxury hotels use strategic branding and customer experiences and experience customer design or their ambiance of the place to create emotional connection with the traveler. These three are just some of the most famous revolutions that happened. So these revolutions were more than just changes in knowledge. They altered how people viewed themselves and also how people view the world, and how people view themselves in the world, whether it's the way we navigate the skies, understand life, or how we interpret human behavior. These shifts continue to shape modern society up until the present.